Hello, my name is Diaz Melika and I'm joined here today with a very, very talented creative. Can you introduce yourself for us, please?
Sure. Hello everyone, my name is Ellis Witter. I am an actor, scriptwriter, producer.
And the list goes on.
The list goes on and on and on. I have my own production company called Lissine Productions. I'm also a poet. Yeah, I do a lot.
Lovely, lovely. Tell us a little bit about your book and stuff that you've done.
Whew, okay, wow. Okay, so my debut poetry book is called Deeper Insights, which is available on Amazon. Check the link down below. So my debut poetry book is a self-expression of just pure honesty about where I am in my journey in life, and analysing things and putting a sole focus on things that we tend to brush under the bed, you know, and showing people that although people may appear that they're fine and whatnot, we're actually not. These are the things that we're dealing with behind the scenes. So it's showing you that I'm vulnerable, showing you that I'm human.
So can you tell us a little bit about the importance of vulnerability as an actor and a performer and how it can help elevate for anybody that's interested in knowing?
That is a beautiful question. I think it's important to be vulnerable because you understand yourself fully. You understand yourself more, and then that allows you to then take certain aspects of yourself and embed them into the character. You know, whatever character actors play, there's always, well, I feel like there's always a part of themselves ingrained with the actor, with the character, sorry. And being vulnerable, you know, sharing the character's pain allows you to connect with the character more, allows you to express emotions more. So even in certain scenes where it may be an emotional scene, it may be a vulnerable scene, it may be whatever type of scene it is, you can feel it more.
Exactly.
And when you feel it more, it's more believable.
And from a viewer's point of view, it will connect with you more because
100%.
they will be like, wow, this feels like it's actually real because there is an essence of realness behind it rather than
100%.
You're not supposed to be pretending, you're supposed to be bringing that part of you into that character.
And that's literally just the point as well. So let's say, for example, there's a death scene and my character's meant to be crying. And let's say within my personal life, I've lost someone recently. I will draw on that pain.
Exactly.
I will remember how I feel in that situation. I will allow my mind to go there and feel that emotion and then bring it back to the camera so you can see that I'm really upset. It's really feeling me. I'm feeling it in every aspect of my body. So when the viewer hopefully looks at it, it's like, damn.
No, I get what you mean. What do you think people don't realise they have to have in place in order to get their foot in the door of the industry that you would tell people that they need to kind of have ready or...
That's a good question. I think everyone kind of forgets that they need an agent. An agent is the main crucial part. And obviously representation is hard. It's not an easy thing to go about doing. So it's not only getting representation, but finding the right representation. Because there are companies that will take you on. But if they don't have your aspirations, that's the right word I'm looking for. If they don't have your aspirations in mind, then you're kind of running yourself into a dead end because although you have an agent and you might be doing stuff, it might not be the stuff you want to do.
Right, because they might not have your best interest at heart. Right.
So it's things like that, having the right agent as well. Different things, having self-tape equipment, you know, that's that's rule 101, you know, you got to have that as well. So these are the stuff no one tells you about, but I think to give you a real inclusive one, I would say having the right tax system involved. Sorry guys, we have to say it.
We have to.
It's tax season, you know what I mean? And especially within the acting profession, these are things that can catch out actors.
Can catch you out.
If you don't have the right representation and the right, let's say structure, let's go structure.
Right.
If you don't have the right structure in place, then it will catch up to you.
It will catch up to you, exactly.
100% it will catch up to you. You're not above it, it will get you.
And speaking of representation, I wanted to ask you, why do you think that that's a necessity? Just seeing as nowadays, which I know from myself from being on social media, there's a lot of open casting calls. So there's a lot of casting calls that says no experience needed, you know, no representation. How do you feel about that, and what advice would you give to people about that? Why do you say an agent is important?
That's a very good question, and I think it's kind of like a double-sided knife. It's great because for people trying to get the foot in the door, trying to, you know, let me try something. I'm passionate about it. Let me see what I can do. It's great for them to give them the opportunity, knowing that they don't need an agent or have certain things in place in order to do it. They can just go there and just do it. It's brilliant. But it's also why I say a double-sided knife is because this may be a bit controversial, but it's kind of like cheap labor in that aspect, because it's like, okay, cool, yeah, you don't have an agent, that means we don't pay agent fees. You know, that means you don't have to ask this amount as well, because if you do, we'll say
no, we're going to go for someone else, and you don't want to miss out on that opportunity.
There you go.
I'm so happy for you giving that answer to people, because I feel like a lot of people aren't aware of this, and then they're not sure. They just see that as like, wow, I can be on TV with no experience. So it's really good to have people to let them know that there's reasons why maybe a lot of these open casting calls will be happening, not all the time, but sometimes, and just to make sure that they've got a heads up so that they don't get themselves into anything that they don't want to be in.
100%, and trust me, I'm speaking from experience, because I've been there and done that. You know, it's not what it all makes out to be.
Right.
And obviously it's very, 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 very rare that someone with no experience on an open casting call can come in and be the main character and blow immediately. It's a dream, essentially. It's still a dream, but it's a dream in this aspect.
Right.
So it's a way to put your foot in the door and establish yourself.
Establish yourself, exactly. So building on from that, why do you think it's very important to build yourself up into the industry?
Because you have to. You have to, no matter what industry you go into, you have to build yourself up. You can't just walk into Netflix and be like, I am an actor, hire me.
There's no shortcuts. Is that what you're telling the people?
Shortcuts.
Amazing.
There's no shortcuts. And again, one of the main things that people don't tell you about is it's about you, your personality, who you are in your essence.
Right.
You know, you can't, if you want to act like a certain man, it will only get you so far.
You can't imitate, exactly.
You can't imitate. You have to be your authentic self, because that's what sells you. I can't go to Netflix and act like John Boyega, because John Boyega is John Boyega.
Exactly.
I'm Ellis Witter. I have to be Ellis Witter.
Yourself.
I have to be.
Right. You can't. So, yeah, what advice would you give to people then that are maybe thinking about getting into these industries, whatever it is, if it's acting, presenting, just within media, in front of the screen? What advice would you give to these people, like some real raw advice, just to make them see both sides? Because, like you said, I believe that a lot of people think that everything's just glitz and glam, and oh my gosh, what advice would you give them?
It's not overnight. Definitely not overnight. You need a lot of resilience for it. It's not easy sometimes, you know, facing rejection, which is
that's a really big one
that actors will get to learn. There's roles in the past where I've come across it and I'm like, that's me every single day of the week, and I don't get it.
And you don't.
And it's heartbreaking. And those walks home, like, oh, man, I really wanted that. But I always believe that things work out for a reason.
For a reason, exactly.
For a reason.
And exactly. And people should probably understand that that might not be for you, something else might be for you. There's 100%. A reason why you didn't get that role. And what would you say for, in terms of mental health and dealing with that rejection? Because a lot of people, even myself, I've struggled with that in the past. So what advice would you give to people who might have been going through the same things as you, or they're on the beginning of their journey, getting a lot of rejection, and they're just feeling disheartened, they're going into a bad mental space? What advice would you give?
Every door closes and another opportunity for a door to open. You're just getting closer to your goal. That's how you have to look at it. It's hard, it's brutal, it's not easy. There's times where I've had to go to big corporations and they make me do foolishness. And I'm there like, damn, like I want this job.
Yeah.
Do I want it that badly much to do? You know what I mean? And you know.
And actually, sorry to cut you, but on what you were just saying about wanting something so badly, I feel like a lot of people may feel like they have to do anything, or some things that maybe are wrong that they're being told to do, they're not sure how to stick up for themselves or stand up for themselves. Do you have any advice in terms of that as well?
You need morals. You need morals and ethics. You can't do absolutely everything. You can't. I'm sorry, you can't do it. And some people will argue with me saying, yes, I can. but you can't. There's certain things you won't do. If a role came across and you're like, okay, cool, I've got to play this character who does this stuff. You know, like for me, there's certain stuff that I won't do personally.
Exactly.
I won't play rapists. I won't play sexual abusers. I won't play people of a demon derogatory.
Right.
I won't do that.
Exactly.
I don't care how much. You can offer me millions.
How much?
It doesn't. That's my morals. My
Morals.
ethic.
So do you believe that those people that may have similar thoughts to you or morals, that they should stay true to that?
100%.
And when I'm okay.
100%.
Yeah.
And this is the thing with this industry. It tests your morals. It tests your ethics.
110%.
There's things where you're like, oh man, I don't want to do that. But you're looking at
But
those
they're
4 or
offering
5 figure checks and you're
they're
like,
offering so much, yeah.
you know what? I mean, I could.
Okay,
But like, think about it. You know, if that thing you don't really want to do, and it's portraying you in a really negative light that you hate to your core and your existence, blows up overnight, and you're famous and now everyone knows you.
Knows you for that, then how would you feel?
Think about how that will make you feel. Think about how you would sleep at night. Oh, everyone knows me, but I hate that person.
Right,
I hate
exactly.
that character.
Exactly.
There's things about contracts as well. You get tied into contracts. That's another thing you've got to look at as well. That's why you need an agent, because contracts are techie.
And to deal with that on your own would be really difficult.
Yeah.
With no representation.
You need the right representation to deal with that, because some people will try it.
Okay, amazing. And just back on what we were speaking about before with the whole mental health, yeah, what would you say about that? And is there anything that you could just give them an example of what you've gone through and how you've overcome that?
Mental health is important. For me, I go therapy. I go therapy once a week. It helps me deal with the stuff that I need to deal with. And it helps me be vulnerable and allow me to express my emotions, hence my book as a result of it. To give you an example, there was a movie that I went to a casting call for. So I'm going to say the movie. It was Peter Pan.
Okay.
And I think it was a live action.
So a really big one. People
massive.
would have, anyone would have been like, wow.
And I was going to play one of Peter Pan's best friends in the video. I never saw the movie, but, you know, it was one of those things where you're like,
exactly, you're buzzing, you're like...
Go there, I'm like, I'm going to show them who Ellis Witter is. Like,
exactly.
They have to hire me. I walk into the room and there's 100 black kids who look exactly like me.
See?
That's it's not heartbreaking, but it's a moment of realization of like, wow.
Wow. It's really like, it kind of makes you feel like it takes your individuality away from you, because you're like, well, everybody looks like me, so they don't even see me as my own person. And then,
But I have a positive mindset. So my mindset was not, oh my gosh, there's 100 black boys who look like me. My mindset was, how do I stand out?
How do you stand out?
I have to stand out, because look how many of them there are.
And was you nervous in that point? Did that make you feel exactly? And how did you deal with it? Did you just push those nerves in and change that energy into like positive energy, or how did you go about it?
Nerves are a fuel of excitement. It's a very tipsy-turvy thing.
I agree.
If you're nervous about something, you're excited.
Yes.
If you're excited about something, you can be nervous.
Yeah.
So it's very, you just got to change your mindset, how you look at it. I'm nervous. No, I'm excited.
I'm excited, not because I think a lot of people pair nerves with being scared or like you don't want to do it, but that's not exactly like what you said. It's more so you're so excited about this thing that it's making you nervous. You want to do so well at it.
Yeah. I didn't get the role, by the way. but that's just... You know, it's just one of those things you have to go through, innit? So it was a brutal rejection. And
then again, see, exactly, you being so excited about it and having that brutal rejection, that could have made you feel like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to give up. So, but you didn't. So what is it that made you not feel that way?
This is my dream. It's my passion. I can't give it up.
Exactly.
You know, I don't want to work a 9 to 5.
Exactly.
A dead end job. I'm sorry. You know, I don't want to be on a fixed salary of like 40k per year or something.
Right.
I mean,
that's just not you as a creative. That's not you.
I'm a creative, you know. I'm not academically smart. I mean, I did fail a crucial exam. I'm not gonna say which, but you know,
did you have to retake, or you didn't?
I had to retake. Barely passed that time, but it was a thing where it's like, I know this isn't where my strengths lie.
Right.
So for me, I'm not interested in that.
Okay.
I don't
exactly.
care. Like you're making me do it because I have to. I don't want to. This is what I want to be doing.
Right. And I think in school it can be difficult because you're taught that those kind of roles are the only roles you should be going through. For 9 to 5 roles, for being a nurse, being a lawyer, you're taught that that's the way that you should be. But it's not really opened up to us that there's also a career in creative industries. So I feel like even us just being here now, it's letting young people know that you can break through here. And if you don't feel like you fit in there, you can fit in these industries.
There you go. And there's just places where you're just not meant to be. And as harsh as that may sound, you're just not meant to be there, because I believe in God. God guides me in certain ways as well. So I'm not meant to be at certain places. I'm meant to be here. I'm meant to be developing, creating,
right,
showing people what I can do as well. So I just believe in myself and everything that I do, my path as well. And I know that God's got me, because even again, as I branch into script writing, I can write my own scripts now. I can write my own characters. So I would rather get my show commissioned than be a part of their show.
Exactly. Because it's your own thing. 100%. So you spoke about caring about yourself. So you obviously care about others as well, being a part of 21K Digital Media. So just to wrap this up, just let us know about your role and what you do here and why you love it.
100%. So I'm more of like an ambassador type of 21K media, Digital Media. I work closely with Colin, love the guy, he's amazing. And, you know, seeing places like this, seeing that the creative elements of this gets me going. I love it. Again, it's the passion in me. Having students come in and, you know, learn how to edit, learn how to
in
do
the facilities.
In the facility, I love this so much. So anywhere I can help, I can. I'm here. I love doing these things. So I'm just here to serve.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Ellis. Thank you for this interview.
Thank you for having me.